and I knew, and because I started off in like the legal field, I was able to like decipher what was really racism and what wasn't, or what appeared to be racism. And I would address it, because that's what you did when you were, not in fear. I wasn't in fear. When I first ran into it, of course, I was fearful of my job and my stance, but as I stayed in the field for so long, and then transitions from legal to the human resources, I just got bolder with it. I sat down with the powers that be, and I talked to them about it, and I'd say, this person is doing this, or that's happening to this person, or, and I think it's unfair. And I, not only unfair, I'm not even looking at the fairness of it. I'm looking at it, there's got to be a reason behind it. I even had to draw up a diversity inclusion plan, which was dismissed and ignored. But, it's here, it's been here. And in order for us to deal with it, we just have to address it, and take it one step at a time. I mean, I can't say anything directly. Well, I know there's a lot of things that happen to me directly because of it, but I don't too much worry about that. I worry about it as a big, how do we resolve it from a larger perspective, not just me. I mean, just the world in general. What do we? That's why I'm on this call with you, because I'm like, I like to see how he's going to approach this big elephant in the room that we've been dealing with all our lives. and even right today, with what went on at the Capitol, it's like, okay, you guys, let me see how you fix this one. And we know what it's all about. I mean, we're not stupid. We can close our eyes if we want, and we can pretend like it's not happening. But all of it, most of it is based on racism. And we have to deal with it. We have to approach it one step at a time and deal with it. All
As,
right.
as always, Crystal, bringing that fire. You're bringing that fire. So I guess I'll share my story. Moving in around 1980, 87, moving in with my mom in the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. Keep that in mind. This is the U.S. This is not British Virgin Islands. Living with my mom for the first time, married. She's married now, my brother and sister. We experienced in September, I want to say, if I don't know the date, but I know it was September in 1989, a Category 5 hurricane, Hurricane Hugo. My mom got injured. She broke her collarbone. She had a cut in her eye, because we had to evacuate in the middle of this storm at night. So my stepdad grabbed us. Our house was being destroyed. He let us out. I was hanging onto a tree, hanging on to my little brother. We almost got swept away, and he pulled us. And thankfully, to God, to this day, she passed away. Our neighbor, Miss Peters, was able to let us in. It was straight out of a movie. I mean, if you've seen like Twister and all this, it was just the way it is. Devastating. The next day, the neighborhood came together as we did. We helped one another. We cleared debris on the road. We went to one of the church elders. Her name was Miss Thomas, her house, because her house wasn't touched, and she had food. She took the kids in. So the pastor's son, the eldest pastor's son, we decided to, look, let's walk down to the beach. This is our first, let's see what the beach would look like. The beach was literally, I don't know what, not even a quarter of a mile. So we were like, cool. So we left the house. The kids were being taken care of, walked down to the beach. So on the beach, it was called at the time Sugar Beach. There was actually a hotel, which was open. It was, people would come in from the mainland, and they would come in over the summer, whatever. But the neighbors will always be, the beach will always open to them. So they were like, the owner was like, y'all could come in, not a problem. That particular day, as we were walking in, we saw the beach. We got right where the entrance, where the hotel started. we're walking and we're talking like, wow, man, you know, last night. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a white lady came with a shotgun. I mean, literally straight up to my face. Because I was taller than the pastor's son. And so I'm like, what? And we were just walking. And she was hysterical. She was like, F you, N word, get off our property now. I'm about to shoot you. That's literally what I remember. And so the pastor's son was, it was, you know, fight, flight, or fight. So he froze. And so, of course, I'm like, lady, what did we do? And so by the time this is happening, I guess her daughter ran up screaming. This other girl came up screaming, mom, do not do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. And so I'm like, okay, you're going to have to shoot me because we live here. You don't, of course, you know, and you're a teenager, right? You know, 14, 15. And so the pastor's son, he's like, Shamar, let's go. Let's go. And I'm like, no, you're going to have to shoot me. We're not doing anything. We're just here. So the daughter is pleading, Mom, please come on. Please don't do this. And so she's turning to us like, y'all, please just leave, please. And so, of course, I was like, okay, turned around and I left. That was the one time the word racist came to my mind. I was like, if that lady wasn't such a racist, such and such. And so we're walking back, and it was silence with the pastor's son and I. And the one thing I told him before we got to the house where we were staying at the time, Miss Thomas, I told him, I said, do not tell my mom what happened. In fact, don't tell anybody what happened. And it wasn't until like later in life, after I came out of the service, I told my mom the story of what happened. But again, that was my experience. And I to looking back, I know in my heart that I can't say for sure it was racism, but I could say for sure that looking back, she thought we were looting. And kids, come to find out, there were kids breaking into the hotel candy machines, grabbing candy and sodas. So again, fear, the underlining current. So I want us to now, as we shared our stories, and thank you, Stu, now let's understand this realm. Why do you think that people, when it comes to racism, have so much fear?
Well, there's so many different angles to this, but I'll just speak on one aspect that stands out to me. It's just about what are you going to lose? You know, you know, if I afford you your due rights, what is that going to, you know, take away from me? What am I going to lose by you getting your rights, right? So it's from a selfish place. And like you said earlier, you see it in so many different levels of life, right? It's not just quote unquote racism, but you can see that in the workplace. You can see that anywhere. If I give up this and somebody else gets that, I'm giving up something that I have, and I'm going to miss out on something to give you something. So it's greed. You know, it's a greed. It's power. You know, I used to always. I learned this. I was reading all types of literature and books on racism, and I saw, you know, race plus power equals racism. You know, depending on race plus power equals racism, and it always made sense to me. It's that power. You know, it's that greed, that power, that wealth. You know, if you weren't losing anything valuable, it wouldn't even matter. You know what I mean? If you weren't giving up something that would empower the people that you're oppressing, it wouldn't matter. But it's valuable. It's valuable. And they know as a result of holding somebody down, if you release them, if you allow them to rise, you might not be in the position you're in. You might go ahead and lose that quote unquote power. And that results in fear. You know, that is a result of fear. It is fear. It's all encompassing, you know, the fear.